Hey guys, welcome to Very Terrible. Today we've got 3 blind mice featuring the new Maushold from PAL Evolved with a non-relentlessly attack. For 3 colorless, you get to place 1 damage counter on each of our opponent's Pokemon for each Maushold you have in play. We also are playing the other Maushold from Scarlet and Violet, the very first set, with the family attack, allowing you to do 70 damage for each Maushold that you have in play onto their active Pokemon for 2 colorless. So we are doing a maximum of 280 damage with this Maushold, while also spreading damage counters with the other one. And our third mice for this deck is our Fake Pikachu / Mimikyu VMAX, allowing us to basically finish off any basic 1 price supports like Skwovet, Manaphy, Bibarel that you have on their bench, Dunsparce as well, that allows us to draw extra prizes by placing 13 damage counters on their Pokemon in any way we like, using ominous numbers for a double turbo. So we obviously have to play our Acerola to be able to place up to 13 damage counters with this attack. If we don't play Acerola, we're only able to place 4 damage counters, unfortunately. So we have our Forest Seal Stone to search for the supporter, and we are playing 2 copies of Acerola to make sure we get to play our ominous number for 13 damage counter placement. And if they knock out the VMAX, we actually get to play our reversal to either place even more damage counters to spread even more damage using our non-relentlessly a second time, or even family attack to finish off any V-Star or EX Pokemons doing big damage with this Pokemon. We also have an additional attacker, Radiant Jirachi, with the Astro Misfortune attack, flipping 2 coins and doing an instant knockout on opponent's active Pokemon if you flip both hits for 2 colorless. It also has the Entrusted Wishes ability that allows you to search for any 3 cards from the deck if it gets knocked out in the active spot by damage from an attack from your opponent's Pokemon. We also are playing our Zoroark to make sure we have as many copies of our Maushold in play every single turn, so we get to place as much damage counters as possible with our non-relentlessly on each of our opponent's Pokemon, or to hit as much damage as we can with our family attack. On to our draw support, we're playing 3 Iono, 3 Bruno, 1 Serena, 2 Acerola, and 1 Research, with also our Gift Energy to help us draw cards until we have 7 cards in our hand if one of our Pokemon gets knocked out with this special energy attached. We also have our regular cards for the setup, 4 Level Ball, 2 Nest Ball, 2 Capturing Aroma, 2 Hisuian Heavy Ball, 1 Great Ball, 1 Ultra Ball, 1 Artisan, and also 4 VIP Pass to bench our basics or to search for the evolution. Finally, we have 1 boss for our power play, 1 Rescue Carrier and 1 Rod to counter Avery, 1 Escape Rope for the switch, 1 Peonia to get our evolutions from the prize, 1 Raihan for the extra energy, 2 basic psychic, 2 reversal, 4 double turbo for Mimikyu, and also our Maushold with 1 Manaphy for the bench barrier. So that's all for the deck list. Now let's go for some gameplay and see how well this deck works. Okay, let's go for our first game versus a Forretress EX Grass Box. They got Wachian EX and Leafeon. So we're playing Maushold, a new card that allows you to spread up to 4 damage counter on each of our opponent's Pokemon. If you have all 4 Maushold in play, obviously you need to evolve 4 copies. If we have any stuck in the prize, we get to play our Peonia to search to dig them out. So obviously it's actually we actually still need to play the other Maushold to do enough damage for the knockout, because we only are playing 1 Peonia. If we don't get the evolution with the supporter, we actually are forced to do a knockout before we can get extra copies into play. So if, for example, if we have 2 Maushold stuck in a prize, if the Peonia gets us our 3rd copy, we actually have to wait until we draw the last copy out from the prize, because if we play Peonia, we actually know which position isn't a Maushold, then we would actually possibly be able to draw the Maushold much easier from the prize, because we have three other cards that isn't that is guaranteed to be the Maushold, and that means we can quite easily draw it out if we do the knockout. So that means we are forced to play family attack if we don't get the Maushold, if we don't have all 4 copies in play by the time we play our Peonia. So that's the tricky thing about Maushold. How do you get 4 copies in play every single turn though? Like, how do you place up to 4 damage counters, right? If you have only 2 copies, if you're only able to evolve 2 Mausholds, then, the non-relentlessly attack is only allowing you to place 2 damage counters for 3 colorless, which is kind of a waste, because you're wasting your reversal, you're wasting a double turbo, only to place 2 damage counter on each of our opponent's Pokemon. Might as well just play family attack. So why are we choosing to do that though? Just because if we place 3 damage counter even on each of their Pokemon, if we can do that, then we could actually collect the knockout against extra Pokemon. So we can draw our next few prizes. We can basically draw extra prizes with our Mimikyu VMAX, doing ominous number with a single double turbo, and we can even search for the Acerola using our Forest Seal Stone. So it's actually quite fun to play Mimikyu, just because Mimikyu V, the basic Mimikyu, has an ability that protects it against damage the minute you bench it from your hand. As long as they don't have a path, we get to play our Mimikyu to guard itself from damage for 1 turn before you actually evolve it into the VMAX and play the attack for 13 damage counter placement, helping you collect the knockout against low HP 1 price supports like Bibarel, Manaphy, anything that they have on the bench supporting their, helping them draw cards, supporting their strategy like Howlucha, Radiant Pokemons, Greninja as well. You could actually finish them off, like Comfy Sableye especially for a Lost Box. You can finish them off with your ominous number after doing your Gnaw relentlessly using your Maushold. So Maushold placing only 4 damage counters for your first strike or even your second strike. If you can place up to 3 damage counter even for a single copy, if you play it twice, you could obviously place more than 4. And if you have up to, for example, 6 damage counter on each of your opponent's Comfy, ominous number is going to get you a lot of prizes. Obviously, they have, switch cards that allow them to heal damage from their Pokemon, but, we are spreading to each of their Pokemon, and that means they're going to have to heal from each Pokemon. If they don't play Radiant Serena or Picnic Basket or any other cards that heal from each Pokemon, like Crystal Cave or, Freshwater, then they are basically screwed, because you are keeping so much damage counters in the game, helping you finish off those baby basics for extra prizes. So against an EX, we have to play the old Maushold, doing 70x damage for each Maushold that you have in play. So we are hitting a maximum of 280 damage. We don't have any choice belt. We are not playing Defiance Band either. No tool cards that will do extra damage. We are not playing, there's no such thing as powerful anymore for standard. So the max we can hit is 280. And since we are playing double turbo, we have to expect to do less damage than the maximum, just because we may actually have a couple copy prize as well. So if we have only 3 copies of Maushold in play with the double turbo attached, we are only doing 190 damage, unfortunately. But we can finish off, for example, a Miraidon by playing our second Maushold, the other one from Paldea Evolved, that allows us to place damage counter on each of their Pokemon. If we place 3 damage counter on the Miraidon after hitting 190 damage on the last turn, that would actually be enough to kill it off on the bench. So that's actually, the perfect combo. If we have 3 Maushold in play every single turn, we can kill off a V card. We can kill off all their Vs eventually by using at the final last minute, playing the reversal for 3 damage counter placement on all of their Miraidon, Raikou, any basic V cards that they have that has, 30 or 40 HP remaining, allowing us to do a multi-prize draw, winning the game by drawing all 6 prizes or the last 4 prizes or something like that. So it's very fun to spread damage, obviously, but we are not just doing that. We are hitting big with our family attack, which is super fun. We're playing double Maushold and also having an extra spread, extra spread attack, ominous numbers. We have reversal. We have Iono for the counter combo. We also have Radiant Jirachi as well, by the way, helping us search for any 3 cards from the deck if they knock it out in the active spot. It has to be in the active spot. It has to be damage from an attack as well. If they knock out Jirachi with damage counters, the ability doesn't work. If they knock out Jirachi with special conditions as well, it doesn't work. If they have Path Therapy in play while they do the knockout, Jirachi, it's not going to allow you to search for any cards from the deck. We have Gift Energy though. We have Gift Energy just in case we don't get our supporter. Since we are not playing Bibarel for this deck, we have no Radiant Venusaur, no draw support, no Greninja. We have nothing to help us draw cards in terms of Pokemon abilities. And that's why we're playing Radiant Jirachi with Gift Energy. So if you are playing Gift Energy, make sure you attach it to your Maushold instead of Jirachi. If you have a choice though. If you don't have a choice, if you get it early in your hand, then you are actually forced to attach it onto the Jirachi, just because, you know, if you attach it onto your Maushold, you're drawing way more cards than if you do it on your Radiant Jirachi. If they do a knockout on Jirachi, you are actually forced to search for 3 cards, and that means you're drawing less cards with your gift energy after the search. So always conserve your draw support. Don't waste your supporter cards, don't waste your special energy. Use them sparingly, and make sure you don't run out of them. So we got a lot of balls for this deck, helping us bench fast, helping us evolve fast as well. 4 level ball for our Maushold and also Tandemaus, whichever one that we need at the moment. We got 4 VIP Pass as well, 2 Capturing Aroma, a lot of ways to search for our Pokemon. So we have no need to worry about the evolution. If you don't get to bench that many, if you're up against a Lost Box, obviously they have Fog Crystal, they are more likely to get their Comfies, they are more likely to bench a lot more Pokemons early, and that means you may not be able to bench as many Tandemaus as you would like on your very first turn. So that's still okay, just because we have, you know, even if we're not doing that much damage early game, we can easily counter it back later by benching more, you know, and slowly pick up the game by doing family attack, because we are playing a 1-price deck. We got Manaphy to guard against, you know, Bench Snipe Greninja, and if they don't play Sableye fast enough, we got the win. I'm pretty sure, because we are spreading a lot of damage with Mimikyu and also Gnaw relentlessly. If they can play Lost Mine fast enough though, if they've lost 10 cards early, they can actually place 12 damage counter every single turn with their Sableye, basically finishing off 2 Maushold at a time every single turn, which is kind of bad. But we do have the other Maushold though, since we are playing 4 copies, 2 different Maushold, you know, 2 of each, and that means we actually get to tank a little bit more with the other one, just because it has 70 HP, a little bit more than normal. For stage 1 is very low though, isn't it? But if we have all 4 of the one from PAL they evolve, that would mean they can quite easily just knock out 2 at a time, draw 2 prize every single turn. So if we play Gnaw relentlessly at the right time, we just need 1 shot, and then after that we can finish off for extra prizes using our Mimikyu, and then later on we could choose to play our family attack to finish off the game by knocking out, for example, a Greninja or Dragonite V on the bench with a Serena, with a boss, anything that they have, a Lumineon as well, you know, helping us draw extra prize with our big damage. That's what we want to play. Even if we're not drawing extra prizes for a V knockout, even if we're just killing off a 1-prize card, we are at least slowing them down by denying them the double prize draw every single turn. And if we deny them that, we have extra turns to spare. We can survive 1 extra turn to do another knockout to win the game by basically countering their prizes. So it may be wiser not to play, you know, that many times the other Maushold, because if you transform with your Zoroark into the other Maushold, into your PAL they evolve one way too many times, they may just draw their prize and win the game quite easily. If you're unlucky enough to match up against a Lost Box that play Echoing Horn though, you're basically screwed, just because we have Tandemaus with only 40 HP, and if they do an Echoing Horn, they are drawing at least 3 prize in 2 turns, right? They could even draw 5 prize in 2 turns, which would be terrible. So against any spread deck, I don't think we stand a good chance. We do have 1 Manaphy with Carrier and Rod to shuffle it back. We can recycle the Manaphy, but if they place damage counters, we basically cannot avoid our opponent getting multi-prize knockouts. So that's the disadvantage that we have. But we are ourselves spreading a lot of damage, so that's fun. A fun element that we get to experiment, that we get to toy with for this deck. And we actually do get to play our Mimikyu VMAX for this game. Not always that we get to pull off Ominous Number, just because we have to play Acerola, and it's not actually easy to pull it off. We do have the 1 Forest Seal Stone, but if we don't get Acerola at the right time, if we don't play it with the double turbo, we can't actually place 13 damage counter with our Mimikyu VMAX when we play Ominous Numbers. So we're gonna search for the double turbo. We already got the Acerola. Let's get the Rod. Not sure what to get here. I think we need Bruno or Serena. We need a draw support for sure. We have Raihan though. I don't think we need much. Let's just get the Zoroark. So reversal isn't really doing much, because we already got a knockout. So sometimes reversal may not actually help you for the entire game for the triple rainbow. Especially if you get a knockout with your Astro Misfortune. If you're lucky enough to get early knockouts, a free knockout with your Jirachi, you would not be able to play reversal throughout the entire game. Most likely, for the whole game, you can't use the triple rainbow effect. But it's still okay though, we still get to use it for the single colorless, helping us satisfy the attack cost if we have a double turbo attached to our PAL Day Evolved Maushold for the triple colorless attack cost. So Raihan would actually work better in that scenario. If we don't get to play the reversal for the special effect, it's way better to play Raihan with double turbo if we want to use Gnaw relentlessly instead of having to attach the reversal just for a single colorless. But we may not get the Raihan at the right time though. If we have an extra turn to attach the energy from our hand, and if we get the reversal at the wrong time, might as well just attach it, right? Might as well just do it. Because that allows us to do a double turbo on the next turn for us to satisfy the triple colorless cost. So right now we got our Mimikyu. We finally get to play it. Ominous numbers. And we're going to finish off the spider on the bench. I forgot what it's called. Tarantula. With also the Pineco for double price draw. And we're just going to put pressure on the active Wachian just because they have no energy on any other Pokemon to attack. They're probably going to play the Wachian EX on the next turn as their attacker. So might as well just put pressure on the active. Because we have Family Attack to basically finish off the Wachian. If they have only 210 HP remaining, if they have, 190 HP remaining, that would be ideal with double turbo because, well, we have two psychic attached though. So we are doing 210 damage max if we have 3 Maushold in play. I think we have 4 right now. Do we have 4? Okay, we just draw 1 from the prize, so we couldn't possibly have a 4th copy in play. My bad. So we have only 3 copies in play, and that would mean even if they do a boss, I think we can quite easily knock out the Wachian because we have 5 damage counters on the active right now. And that means they have only 180 HP remaining. 190 would be enough to finish off the Wachian. So all we need to do is transform the Zoroark into the old Paldea, the Scarlet and Violet Maushold, helping us do Family Attack with our double turbo if they play the boss. If they don't, we're just going to retreat. So Manaphy is helping us guard against Wachian because they have the first attack that allows them to hit the bench for up to 60x damage for each Pokemon, for each prize card that we have taken, which is kind of, which is very dangerous actually. So we're going to evolve the Zoroark and evolve the Maushold as well. I think we just evolve our 3rd copy. So we finally kill off the EX for the last prize. Winning the game against a Forretress EX for the last 2 prize, my bad. I thought we had 1 prize remaining. Victory against a grass deck, a grass box. Very interesting. They got Leafeon as well. Leafeon V-Star. For the V-Star power, potentially the Leaf Guard as well. So now we're up against Meowscarada, which is super fun. It's a stage 2 though, and they need double turbo grass. It's kind of difficult to play stage 2 with ability because you still need your draw support, you still need Bibarel. If you play a stage 2 EX attacker, you have the HP advantage, but you still need to satisfy all the conditions, right? You still need extra grass energy in your hand for the ability to place damage counters. You still need Radiant Alakazam, you still need double turbo, you still need the rare candy, you still need a lot of things to bench extra Spirigatos. Is not easy playing any stage 2 decks. Okay, we got not many basics to start, but we do have our supporter cards to play on the first turn. We are going second, which is sometimes a big plus because that allows us to play our items and then use the supporter for extra bench support to basically draw out more of our balls and VIP so that we get to bench more fast on our first turn before evolving on our next to attack. So getting extra copies early is ideal just because we want to be evolving and getting as many copies of Maushold into play as fast as possible. If we don't, we have to fall back on Jirachi. If we are not able to manage, if we are not able to pull out enough Tandemaus early game, we have to use Astro Misfortune to basically buy us some time until we can bench enough copies and evolve it, have all 4 in play. Are we gonna choose to play Radiant Jirachi this game? We are, okay. Because we only have 1 Ultra Ball for the discard, 1 Research as well, but it's not easy to play Research, obviously, because sometimes you are forced to discard your Acerola with your Research, you are sometimes forced to discard your crucial item and, even your Zoroarks as well with your Research, and it may be wiser not to play it if you have too many valuable cards in your hand. So Research is kind of tricky. That's why we only are playing 1 copy. We only have 1 Research and 1 Ultra Ball, as I, getting back to the thought earlier, to help us discard the Maushold for us to transform the Zoroark early. And that means if we don't bench enough Tandemaus, if we don't get our Heavy Ball, if we have way too many Tandemaus stuck in the prize, we won't be able to do big damage or place enough damage counters to get by from the very start. We won't be able to get all 4 copies or even 3 that early, that fast, if we don't bench Tandemaus. We need Tandemaus just because if we transform, we cannot discard our Maushold that easily. So that's the tricky part for Zoroark box, is that you need enough ways to discard your hand. And since we're not allowed to play Kirlia, we don't have enough bench spots to play Kirlia, it's kind of better to just focus on Tandemaus. That's why we have 2 Heavy Balls. We don't have Arven Irida to search for the Heavy Ball, but we do have, a lot of draw support, a lot of Iono, Bruno. We got Serena, Research, Acerola as well to help us draw cards, to help us bench fast. And, for emergency, we have the Gift Energy as well to help us draw, just in case we get stuck with a brick hand. We got 2 Gift, 2 Basic Psychic, 2 Reversal, 4 Double Turbo. And here comes Jirachi. They actually did a boss, which is a bit annoying, because they would have knocked out Jirachi this turn. They're only doing 50 damage though, which is quite sad, because they didn't have damage counters on the last turn on the Jirachi. If they have any damage counter on our active, they're doing 220 damage with Meowscarada, minus 20 for the Double Turbo, by the way. So they have no Spirigato on the bench. If we get lucky with this coin, with our first misfortune, we may be able to slow them down by a lot, just because they have no bench basic. Okay, we're gonna flip 2 coins and we got 2 heads. Look at that. How lucky is that? We actually knocked out the Meowscarada with our first hit, with our first coin flip, using Jirachi. How lucky is that? Jackpot. And we got Peonia with Reversal from the prize. Reversal is not going to work at all for this game, but it's fine. We have 1 prize extra. We got 1 prize less than our opponent, so they're going to have to step up, but they actually have the advantage in terms of prize draw, because they can quite easily kill off our Tandemaus, get extra prizes by using the EX ability, placing 3 damage counter at a time every single turn with their Meowscarada. So if they have enough copies in play, all they need is 1 Meowscarada really for them to, add, 3 damage counter in the game while doing a knockout on our active. Because they're doing only 80 damage on the Maushold, which is actually enough to kill it off. I don't think we can revive the Jirachi that many times though, just because it's not really helping if we don't get the double heads. I don't think we should rely on Astro Misfortune that many times. Even if we play Rescue Carrier for the Jirachi, it may not be a good idea, right? Because they got Escape Rope boss as well to deal with our Maushold, and it may actually give them extra time to get a second Meowscarada for them to do extra snipes to kill off, more Mausholds on the bench. So we actually won that because they conceded though, because they couldn't get their supporter cards or their, they couldn't get their rare candies in time. They actually played Iono and it screwed up their hand, apparently. Okay, now we're up against a Miraidon if I'm not mistaken. Oh no, we're up against a Magnezone EX deck, which you don't see really often, do you? You don't see Magnezone in standard. But they're actually playing a lightning deck. is not, you know, the Metal Magnezone with Dialga. They're actually playing the Lightning one. Okay, we got Artisan for an extra bench. And for this game, we're actually playing Mimikyu to start. Are we gonna choose to play the double turbo? Because we don't have Acerola. We only have that one Seal Stone and we may not get it that easily. I'm not sure if we're gonna get the Acerola that early. If we're lucky though, let's hope we're lucky. We may be able to get the Acerola, draw out the evolution, and play it from the very start. Who knows? Who knows? You never know when you're gonna get lucky. They may actually play Iono right now and help us get, you know, our evolution in addition to the Acerola or the tool card. All we need is the tool card with the evolution. We got Aroma, Great Ball, and Ultra Ball to evolve the Mimikyu. And, you know, that's it. We don't have many cards to evolve it, actually. So it's kind of like a late game strategy. If you get your Mimikyu early, it's kind of a bad deal. It's almost like it's going to get stuck there, especially if it's in your active spot. If it's like your first Pokemon, it would be terrible just because you can't actually play the ability to prevent damage when you bench it, when you first have it in play. Because if you bench it from your hand, you actually get to prevent all damage done to it, done to your Mimikyu V on your opponent's next turn for at least one turn to get to survive before you evolve it on your next. Before you actually play Iono, research Bruno to basically draw out the VMAX and then play, you know, the double turbo for ominous numbers. Well, we can't actually play Acerola and research at the same time. So if we don't play Acerola, we're not placing 13 damage counter. And we actually did get Acerola though from the top deck. How lucky is that? And we did draw our VMAX. Oh my god. And now we actually get to kill off both the Magnemite. Both Magnemite on the bench. Are we going to choose to kill off the Bidoof though? Are we going to be cheeky and destroy their draw support? Remove the Bibarel from play before they actually evolve it. Luxray has a lot more HP than usual, so we are not doing a knockout on the Luxray. We're not putting pressure on it as well. I don't think it's necessary. They're doing only 50 damage at a time. They are searching for any 2 trainer cards every single turn though. But that would be useless if we just knock out both the Magnemite right now. I think the best strategy for this turn for us right now is to kill off both the Magnemite and give them a reset, a hard reset, forcing them to re-bench the Magnemite and, you know, basically get stuck for another turn until they can pull off the rare candy. So we obviously can't do the same thing on the next turn though, because we have, I don't think we'll be that lucky to get another Acerola, right? If we don't get the second Acerola, if we don't get the tool card as well, we're not able to pull off 13 damage counter to finish off the next Magnemite. And that means we're only placing 4 damage counter with ominous number or not relentlessly. That's not enough. And we don't even have that many copies of Maushold. We have our 3rd copy with the Level Ball, but not enough energy to play the damage counter attack. I think we have a reversal on the bench though. So if we play a double turbo with the reversal, because we don't actually have, we actually got 2 prize early as well. I don't think we are going to need the reversal at all for this game. So might as well just play the double turbo on that Maushold. I'm not sure if we actually have the reversal attached. I think so. I'm actually not sure. I can't really see the screen right now, my bad. It's like a small screen while I'm talking to help me, you know, record better. So anyways, what are we gonna do right now? Are we gonna just play ominous number? Because we only have 1 extra damage counter on the Bidoof. We're not doing a knockout on the Bidoof if we use Mimikyu to attack. If we retreat though, we are wasting our double turbo. We only have 1 switch card for this deck, which is the Escape Rope, unfortunately. So if we retreat, if we choose to retreat, we at least get to, you know, deny them the draw support by killing off the Bibarel, the Bidoof, with our family attack. And they just conceded though before we actually get to decide whether to retreat or not. Because we have 2 Maushold in play, I think 3 from the Level Ball, with our double turbo on the one with the family attack. So we got the knockout if we do the retreat. My bad, we are actually knocking out the Luxray though, because we don't have a boss. We're not doing a boss or Escape Rope, and that means we're actually knocking out the Luxray if we do the retreat. We're not actually killing off the Bibarel, are we? The Bidoof. I keep calling it the Bibarel, my bad. Okay, now we're up against an electric deck. Not a Miraidon though. I was kind of expecting a Miraidon, but this one is actually against the old Mimikyu VMAX. You know, electric box from Silver Tempest. The default Eleki deck that they gave us for standard. They have a pretty old deck, kind of a, you know, a lame electric box, but still, we at least get to show off our Maushold for this game. That's the reason why I put it into this video. Any game that we get to show off our Not Relentlessly and Mimikyu VMAX combo, I'm happy to just include, right? I don't care what opponent I'm up against. I don't care what match it is. At least we get to show off our combo. We get to show off a unique combo, you know, that not many people uses, that not everyone can think of. You know, a unique combo that is at least fun to play, right? That's different from the rest. Like, don't conform, guys. If you conform, where's the fun in it? Why would you conform without thinking? That's not smart, is it? Don't just play Miraidon. Don't just play Chin Pao all the time. If you play it once or twice, I can understand. You just need to win. I can understand. But if you do it all the fucking time though, like, come on. We gotta challenge ourselves. We gotta make full use of our potential and, you know, push ourselves to the limit. That's what life is about. Come on. We got this. We can do it. Life is a challenge. It should be a challenge so that you could actually learn something from it and grow. And if you keep growing, you are living the right way. If you degrade, if you just sit there and do nothing, like, you're like, what are you even doing? Why are you just following everyone else? Don't just conform, please, guys. I want you guys to do something that you can call your own and make a change in the world, you know? Make a change that you are proud of. And make a change that is right, not a change that is, you know, disruptive to the world, a change that you can be proud of, that you can live with, right? Obviously, you don't want to destroy the world. If you destroy the world, you would be destroying your home. Why would you destroy your home? I don't understand. Like, there are so many people these days that just run around destroying the world, not realizing that they are basically having to live in a wasteland that they have created for themselves. Like, why are you so stupid? Anyways, I think I'm just gonna end the voice right here. And if you guys focus on the game, hope you guys enjoyed this one featuring our Maushold with Mimikyu VMAX combo, helping us place damage counters, spread damage counters as much as we can. If we have 4 copies in play, 4 Mausholds, we actually get to play, you know, place up to 4 damage counter on each of our opponent's Pokemon, and then play Acerola with Mimikyu VMAX using double turbo to spread another 13 damage counters, getting extra prizes by controlling what Pokemons that we get to knock out. Since we get to place, you know, damage counters as, you know, onto their Pokemon in any way we like, we could actually control by knocking out their Scorvet, Bibarel, any of their one prize supports that they don't need, their baby basics like Comfy, helping us draw extra prizes after killing off their key EX or V-Star with our family attack, since we are doing big damage as well with the other Maushold from Scarlet and Violet. So that's all for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll see you next time. Have a great day and bye from me, people. Enjoy life.